is believed to be one of the most toxic places in the world. Agbogbloshie scrapyard in Ghana's capital Accra is where outdoor burning of used electronic is done on a daily basis to remove valuable metals for resale. It is a dangerous way to make a living, and some experts say it can cause cancer and other life-threatening illnesses. BBC's Paulina Diambo has more.
My name is Mohamed Awal. I am 22 years old. I come from Tamale. This is my work. I just burn a wires to look my family.
On any given day, black plumes of smoke rise above Agbogbloshie, a scrapyard in Ghana's capital city. It is here that up to 10,000 people, many of them children, risk their lives by burning heaps of electronic waste to extract copper and other valuable metals.
I want to stop this work because I know this work is not good. If you burn the smoke, not be you alone, the smoke they enter many people. So the smoke is not good.
As I'm reporting this, I have this mask on which helps me breathe through the fumes. But for the 100,000 people living here, they don't even have this. People are born into this pollution. They grew up around it and even raised their farm animals here and protected from the lead, mercury, and even arsenic that comes from burning these electronics.
Like many of the men working here, Awal comes from northern Ghana, where unemployment is high. He's been working here for 8 years now and will only quit when he finds a better job.
If the work is good, I can get money like 1 million of state Ghana. Or if the work is not good, you can get 20 cities, 10 cities. You understand? If I get money, I give my wife some and send to my mother.
For 10 years, Professor Julius Forbil has conducted studies on some of the long-term effects of toxic exposure at Agbogbloshie.
Some of the chemicals are associated with long-term cancer. They are known to be carcinogens. They are cancer-causing. Respiratory health problem, cardio health problem like heart diseases, you can get heart failure, heart attack, hypertension, and chronic kidney diseases. These are all health outcomes that are associated with long-term effect of the continuous exposure to the chemicals that are generated from these activities.
Welcome back to Life Clinic, your weekly dose of health and wellness from the BBC. What are some of the solutions to having a clean environment? Paulina returns with more from Agbogbloshie.
Back at the scrapyard, only the scrap containing copper as well as metal casings are kept for recycling. The rest are dumped, as there are hardly any proper e-waste recycling facilities to process them. The safe recycling facilities at Agbogbloshie remain mostly underutilized, as some of the machines cannot extract copper and other metals from the smaller cables. But some workers prefer using these machines as they feel it's safer for their health.
It's a good idea they bring because different day inside. Even the smoking itself is affecting us, but we don't know. You can see that somebody is sick and they send the person to hospital. It will not keep long, the person will die.
However, for workers like Awal, these machines sometimes lead to loss.
The machine is not good. If you send your coppers, the machine, they cut the coppers small into pieces. You understand? The machine is not fast at all because everybody needs fast to sell in goods and get profit or a loss before you go buy another one. So if 3 people selling goods there, I think the machine will go feel remove it. The machine is too slow.
In an attempt to stop the open burning of e-waste, officials from Ghana's Environmental Protection Agency have enforced an eco-tax that is intended to fund centers where they can buy back and safely process waste collected by the workers in Agbogbloshie.
Initially, our aim was to try to get rid of them, because they were causing a lot of pollution from the burning of the cables, to try to recover copper. But we found that it was actually a whole group of people who were engaged in this activity and a lot of dependents. So the social cost was going to be very high. So we decided to go in to see how we could work with them, to come up with some interventions which could allow them to do it in a more environmentally sound manner.
A trial buyback center was set up here at the scrapyard, But workers say they sometimes have to wait to get paid for their scrap.
The e-waste fund will put money in the hand of the buyback center. So a group like Green Advocacy will operate like a buyback center, and they will have money up front, based on the, a volume that we will determine with them over a period. They will let us know that maybe in a quarter they can buy, e-waste of a certain amount of Ghana cedis. We will advance them that money so that it will be like a revolving fund, and then they will use that to pay. So you don't have to tell them to go and come. Immediately the way you register and you pay right away.
But until the eco-fund is fully implemented, workers like Awal still prefer the quick cash that comes from open burning.
What are some of the solutions to having a clean environment? Paulina returns with more from Agbogbloshie.
The pollution problem permeates other aspects of life here in Agbogbloshie. When it rains, the water takes with it ashes from the burning waste. Contamination to food and animals seems inevitable. Now, just by looking at this very polluted landscape, it's hard to believe that right across that bridge over there is one of the biggest food markets in West Africa.
According to officials at Ghana's Atomic Energy Commission, e-waste can contaminate soil and groundwater, putting food supply systems and water sources at risk.
It is very interesting to note that there is this rearing of cattle which is happening alongside the activities of Agbogbloshie, those people who are the scrap dealers. And not only that, there is also some of the contaminated food of plant origin, which is also growing from that area that the people normally feed on. So when you take in and re-feed on these meats, that is what we call biomodification. As and when we are feeding on the meats, then the concentrations within us increases. And when you are being exposed to these chemicals at high levels, these are some of the health implications that you are being confronted with.
Eggs collected from free-range chicken at Agbogbloshie were found to be toxic.
We found about 220 times the level of the European toxic limit in food samples, which also relates to the what the WHO has prescribed. So to find a level of a contaminant of such magnitude, it's quite dire. It's quite detrimental to the health of humans, and especially those inhabitants at Agbogbloshie e-waste sites who invariably are feeding on these egg samples.
Living just a few meters from where he works, Awal cannot escape the constant pollution.
Even here in Accra, where I have a wife. My wife is interesting. My firstborn is Harun Awal. He's in Tamale. He's 11 years old boy. Now we are going to school. I born second born is Ibrahim Awal. It is 3 years old with that. In our hometown, I want to go, if I have a money, I want to go back and make store and give my wife.
Today, Awal is going for a checkup at one of the hospitals in Accra. It's been 2 years since he's been to a hospital.
Hello, Mohammed. Welcome. Have a seat. Okay. Mohammed, good afternoon. Are you coughing?
Yes, I'm coughing.
When you cough, you bring up mucus?
Yes.
What is the color?
It's black.
When you cough, it's black, the mucus, I see. Okay, so I'm going to listen to your lungs, and I'll let you know if I hear anything, and then we're going to do a breathing test on you, okay?
After about an hour of tests, Awal's results are out.
You have some airway obstruction, like asthma. Okay, that's why you are wheezing and coughing. But the significant part is when they gave you the treatment, you improved dramatically. So there's hope for you. We can treat you to breathe better, but I have to tell you that if you continue to do the same work and inhale the smoke and everything, things might get a little worse. So I'll give you some medicine before you leave to help you to breathe better, and we'll follow you up in about a month, okay?
It's a new day at Agbogbloshie scrapyard, and Awal is back at work.
The doctor told me I should stop working.
And did you listen to the doctor?
If I listen to him, I will lose my family, because I don't like my family to call me, we need this and this, or My mother called me, I want to buy books with your son, which I don't like. I don't have money. So because of it, I dey manage myself, small.
I have talked to those who make a living from this massive dump site, and I've also listened to what the government says about the risk it poses to the lives of those who work here. But I'm still lost for words. Man has to eat, but does food on the table have to be paid with such a heavy price?